Okie dokie. Wait. Just waiting on one to return.
Oh, I'm here. If you did a vote thing.
I did a vote thing. But you also didn't say hello. So I was just
I
assuming
said I
you
was
were here.
here.
You didn't.
You just
Don't
choose
argue
not
with
to
me.
hear me.
Don't argue. Alright.
Bitch.
So, you all
Y'all.
find yourself locked in a dark cave. Heavy door barring you from freedom. In a room full of other prisoners.
How many
Giants
of
living
them?
on the floor.
The other prisoners? There are uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 other prisoners that you can see in here. The first one you see is a Diro who looks
What's
a
a
little bit
diss?
like that.
Right.
They're like an underdark peoples. You see I believe a Quaggoth, whose ugly mug looks like that, and I'll give you a picture of the actual Quaggoth just to give some reference, because that doesn't do it justice.
Almost looks like a goblin.
So that face plastered on that form.
Right.
You see a dwarf with bright red hair that's mustard and dirty and grimy, and she's sitting off to the side looking rather pissed off. You see a gnome rolling a dice. He's got sort of darker, purpler skin than any other gnome you may have come across, unless you spend a lot of time in the underground.
Merv Nevelin. Mervalerv. Mervins.
Yes.
Cool. You see an orc who's mumbling to himself. For some reason, this one has 2 pictures. This one will be more accurate. You see a elf, a dark elf or a drow, much like the captors that put you in here. He looks considerably less well off than the captors. He's got torn clothes, he's got dried blood and bruises, and he has
Dark Rod.
yeah,
Something.
and he
Herpes.
has yeah, basically herpes. You see a Kuatoa, which is like a fishy sort of creature.
Stoned out of his mind.
Normally looks like that. Yeah, he's sort of gibbering away to himself. He's quite a large, sort of fat looking one. He's got dribble coming down his chin. And
That Kuato picture you sent, he looks fucking excited for something. Like,
and
oh
you
boy.
see a large mushroom in the corner that you disregard for a moment, but it begins to move as you look at it for a moment longer. And you realize it's actually a creature. And last but not least, you see 2 more gnomes. And they're sticking together, mumbling to each other, casting looks to the group of you, but mostly keeping themselves separated from everyone else, quite obviously.
Pointy-headed bastards.
Yep. So it's actually 10, not 9. Sorry, those 2 were just one entry each.
So all these guys are just chilling. None of them really look like they're aggressive towards each other or anything.
I mean, no one's actively fighting right now. Like, they don't seem to be friends. No one's talking to each other aside from the two gnomes. They're the only ones sort of actively having a conversation amongst themselves. Some of them are regarding each other. When one says something that one might find interesting or laughable, they may react, but no real sense of friendship that you guys can pick up on.
I guess I asked everyone in the room, does anyone speak common?
And sure enough, someone pipes up, but not that guy. The
Dwarf.
nope, the Quaggoth loops up towards you, and in clear, fine language says, "Why, yes, in fact, I do. How can I help?"
So try and fucking sell us something.
Fantastic. So what's the go here? What are they keeping people here for? Do people get let out very often? Do people get taken away? How often do people come in?
You slow
Are the meals any good?
slow down, boy. You'll have plenty of time. One question at a time.
Alright, I guess first question is, do you know what we're doing here, apart from being held captive?
Well, I know that we work sometimes, but I think our ultimate goal is some form of being sold, some sort of labor trafficking thing going on. There were a few others here before you, but they left some days ago. And you're the first fresh faces we've had in here in quite a few days.
Are our hands still tied up?
No, you're currently untied.
Okay.
Milo's gonna just start punching the bars.
The bards.
Bars.
Ah, okay. Yep, so you
I
just start
guess-
go wailing on the door, and the little gnome that was by himself looks over and says, "I bet you."
I'm not Milo, by the way.
Oh, did Milo say that?
No, I said that.
Did I say Milo?
Yeah. No, I'm
Confused.
Dagrin.
You sound like you're confused.
I was making a joke and you just kind of went with it.
I'm so confused. So you don't go banging on the bars?
No.
Okay. Well, then nothing happens. Fantastic. Where did Milo come
I
into
guess-
this? I didn't even say Milo.
Said Milo. You said Milo before that, and then I said he was banging on the bars. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I don't know what's
Okay.
going on.
Well, let's just carry on. No one's banging on any bars.
I'm
so
gonna
the
go
little
hang out
gnome,
with the
the
mushroom.
little
That's what
gnome
I'm gonna
doesn't
do.
say anything, and you make your way over to the mushroom dude. So anyone else want to talk to anyone in particular before we carry on with the Quaggoth?
I might wander over to the red-haired dwarf because she's pretty much the only person that looks like she might have come from the surface, isn't she?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, gnomes can be seen out and about, but yeah, most of them are sort of underdark or dungeon dwelling types. Maybe the orc,
Oh,
the orc as well.
Yeah.
But he's gruff looking and mumbling to himself in orcish.
I want to go, Milo, investigate the door to see if there's
You want to go bang on the
anything that
bars?
can. I mean, not bang on the bars, but see if I
Punch
could,
him.
or something that I could see that I could unlock it or open it somehow.
Punch
Okay.
him with your iron fists.
So you head over to the door of the pen that you're in and begin inspecting it. And watching you go over there, the gnome that was sitting by himself calls over to you and he says, "I bet you 5 gold you can't get out."
I say to the gnome, you have 5 gold on you to bet?
Nope. Do you?
No.
No.
Well, I guess you'll just have to owe me then.
I'm not making any bets. I'd just be surprised if you had some gold.
No bets, he says. Well, wasting my time talking to you. And he turns his attention back to Milo and he says, how about it?
Can we do something other than gold? Maybe a favor.
Oh,
What favor do you have to offer me?
I don't know. You could ask me to do something for you if I lose the bet.
risky.
He stands up and in his hand he's flicking a single silver piece and he says, a favor, eh? I could use one of those. And he catches the coin out of the air and goes, a favor it is.
Alright, and if I win, you owe me a favor, I guess.
He nods and goes, you won't win. And then
What's the
he
bet
sort of
that I won't
leans
get out?
against the wall and watches you as you go back to the door.
That you won't escape, I think, or he won't get out.
Yep.
That fool's on him when they come to have us do work duty and they let us out.
Exactly, you never said win.
Fucking idiot.
I believe the bit he said was, you won't be able to open it.
Get
No.
out. Just open it when they unlock it and just shove it open and be like, I'm ready to work.
Can I go back talking to that green guy?
Yep. The Quaggoth.
I'll just like, yep. I'll just like to ask him, how long have you been here for?
He looks around and he goes, well, I'm not really sure how to count the days when I can't see the sun. But, wait, no, he doesn't have the deep voice. I'm not really sure how to count the days.
Thank you.
He says, but it's been roughly 13 work duties, and I assume that we're getting those daily.
But it's been roughly 13
I had something in my throat.
And what is your name, Quaggoth guy?
My name is Prince Derendil. Pleasure to meet you.
A prince? A prince of where? And a pleasure it is.
Prince of... You mean you don't recognize my name?
Dan, help me out here. Should I?
You don't recognize his name.
No, I don't.
He says, perhaps you've heard of my kingdom. And he says, my kingdom is that of Nelrindenvane. And I'll type that into chat for you.
This is a place that exists?
So you look at him confused and he goes, in the High Forest? And then seeing the look of confusion on your face, he just, his Quaggoth face falls. And he goes, I suppose it does sound rather fantastic, but it is the truth, I swear to you.
So how did you come to be here?
Well, it was that... Oh, hang on.
Hold on, let me remember really quick. Hold on.
I'll just shuffle through my notes.
I remember, Dan, if you want me to tell you.
He tells you that he was cursed by an evil wizard by the name of Terrastor, who trapped him in this Quaggoth form and exiled him from his people in his rightful place as king or prince.
So, what's your normal form?
I have a question. If he cursed you into this form, surely he's powerful enough to curse you into thinking that you were an elven king.
He looks at you and he goes, "What?"
So what is your regular form then? Were you a human?
I was an elf. I thought I already said that. Hang on. I'm getting assaulted by the woman who needs a cockroach dealt with, so I'll just deal with that.
Tell her to fuck off.
Fuck off. Yeah, it's a long and loving relationship. Tell her to fuck off. Never let a lady know what's more important than her.
I probably imply it every single day.
Wow. You must be desperate.
Desperate for what?
You're assumably massive dinger.
I don't understand.
Alright.
Does
Alright.
anyone else understand?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
I was confusing your friend.
Ah, okay.
I am confused.
Why are you confused?
Apparently I have a very massive dinger.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Is that because you're Din Weasel?
No. Anyway, I guess I'll say to the elf, now green monster man. I noticed that there is a giant 11 on the floor.
He goes, surely you are the mad one and not me like your friend here suggests. And points out that the 11 is in your map and not in the world itself.
What did I get myself into?
Well, I guess I'll just ask him how many cells like this are there, if he knows.
He says, cells? Come to think of it, I've only ever seen this one. There are a few rooms we travel past on the work duties, but no, never another cage like this.
When you do work duties, is it only the people in this cell that you see on work duties, or do you see other people on work duties as well?
He says, only ever the people I'm on duty with. They split us up and give random duties each day.
And what of the drow numbers? And is there anyone that's not drow as well, or is it just drow?
He gives a shrug and says, not sure of the numbers, but about a week ago, I'd assume, that one over there, and he casts his head over to the drow that's in the room with you. He goes, that one over there was tossed in with the rest of us. And before that, he was cracking whips and bringing food. So that's one less, I suppose.
Well, thank you very much. I guess I'll approach that drow.
Alright, so you head over to the drow, and as you approach, he looks up at you, and he says, nothing right now. We go to... who was approaching the nearest? Theron, you were going to the orc. And while
dwarf?
Din is discussing with the Quaggoth...
Your mic's fucked, but I think he's trying to say that he was going to the dwarf, not the orc.
I was
right.
going to the red-headed dwarf, actually.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
but
saying
now
that
you-
I was heading to the red-headed dwarf.
Okay, sweet. So you head to the red-headed dwarf, and as you approach, she looks up and she says, more people.
Yep. And I'll say, I'll introduce myself and say, I'm Theron Greenwood. And, say, so, how'd you get locked up down here? See?
She gets quite a grumpy look on her face, and she goes, I was caught by these bloody corrupt dark dwellers. They took me from my home of Gauntlgrim. They're pushing further and further out all the time. Oops, sorry, get rid of that Y. It was spelled wrong. Second one's correct.
Yeah. sounds like pretty much what happened to us. You know, I say, any idea how long you've been down here?
She shrugs and says, I can't keep track. At least a 10-day.
Don't suppose you've seen anyone try to escape or anything?
There were a couple of humans in here before that made a bit of trouble, but they ended up feeding the spiders. I can tell you that for sure. You're a quiet one, aren't you?
What sort of work do they have us doing? I'm trying to think of stuff to say.
She shrugs and says, depends on how lucky you are. Some days they have you shoveling shit. Other days they have you gathering water down at the bottom. And there's another group that always heads off, but I've never been on that detail.
And none of these, are we always pretty well guarded? You think there's any times where there's a chance to get away?
She looks at you and she goes, are you insinuating that I may have had a chance and not taken it? What do you think I am, some kind of coward?
Oh, maybe not a lot.
And in fear, you break up your speech and you just spontaneously
If it was a group of
combust.
us,
Your mic's coming through terribly.
yeah, I couldn't hear what the hell you said then either. Can you hear me now?
Yes. It like comes and goes.
At least you know what I meant before, Dan.
Oh yeah, he did it the other day too, it's fine.
Yeah, Mike shit. Shit.
For a translation, he said his mic is shit and his connection is shit. So, when you suggest that maybe a group of you might be able to escape, she says they don't ever take out large numbers of
that's what I
us.
said.
Just 2 to 3 at a time at each detail, and whoever's left over just stays in the cell locked away.
All right.
Should have known it wasn't going to be that easy.
Yeah. So anyway, you're talking to her. Din's talking to Quaggoth. Milo, are you talking to anyone, or are you just trying to find out about this door still?
I was looking at the door.
Alrighty, roll me a investigation check.
Holy shit.
So do you have no bonus to investigation? Oh, it's intelligence, isn't it?
What?
Stanky Alright, so you have a look at the door and you can't find any sort of lock or latch or opening up on this side. There's a single viewport that if you try and have a look through, it's just there's a something covering the other side of it, like it's not open from your side, and it looks to be pretty solid from here. Even the hinges appear to be on the outside of the door.
How big is the viewport? Would I be able to crawl through it?
No,
Being a
it's
halfling?
like maybe 6 inches wide and 12 inches long.
Okay. I want to knock on the door until someone opens the viewport.
Alright, so you start knocking away. Dagrin, everyone's talking away. Milo's knocking on the door. What do you do?
Alright, I'm gonna saunter over to the little mushroom dude.
Yep.
He's the best dude. I'm gonna just say to him in my best mushroomy voice, but not really. I bet people say all sorts of things around you and don't pay you much mind. Maybe you have some information.
And he reaches out in a sporous arm, says nothing, but touches you on the neck, and
Oh,
you
I am
feel
Legion, guys. Sorry.
you feel a little bit of a growth pop up on your neck, and then you hear inside your head, "You're awfully friendly."
Oh yeah. So I'll repeat what I just said to see if he, better understands me now.
So you sort of speak in your mind to him. So this is
Yeah.
like you're talking to your voice in your head,
Yep.
and he
Why not?
replies, "Oh, you wouldn't believe the things that I've heard. I don't believe half of them."
Anything that might help us get out of here?
Ah, perhaps, and then he starts getting excited and sort of jumping around. And goes, "Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps," and then that's sort of just filling your head continuously, just repeating the word "perhaps, perhaps" as loud as anything. Just doesn't stop.
I'm okay with this. This is,
Okay, it's like music in my brain.
I asked for this. It's my own fault.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of get him to focus. It's like, well, we need to work together if we want to get out of here. So, is there anything specifically that you can tell us that might help me and my friends get free?
He calms down and is like, "Ah, yes, 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 yes. Those two."
Yes.
And
yes,
you
yes.
see him extend his arm again out and points at the two dark gnomes in the corner talking to each other. He goes, those two have a secret."
All right.
And then he's
I'll
sort of
just
bouncing around again. It's like, perhaps you can set me free, and I can go home. And then you feel a feeling of sadness come over as he sort of draws out the word home.
the only thing I want in the whole world, mushroom friend. All right, so I will say, if we manage to get out of here, I'll do my best to get you out too.
And he looks at you and he goes, "Friends!"
Yeah.
And he's a happy stool.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm meet up with the people and kind of let them know what. Oh god damn, there's a lot of hair under my desk. That's gross. Let them know what I've learned
Why are
from.
you under your desk?
Well,
Why?
my foot touched something fuzzy, and it was like a big hair thing.
Yum. So you begin heading over to Din, who's just trying to find a new person to talk to. And before you guys start talking to anyone else, there's a response to Milo's knocking. And you hear shouted through the gate, "Stand clear!"
Hey, he's about to get that door open.
Yeah, I am.
And do you stand clear or do you stay there?
Which way does the door open? Do
You
we know?
hesitated too long. The door opens immediately without you jumping out of the way or deciding where to go. You're caught in anticipation, and the door swings in and hits you in the face, and you're knocked back. Not hurt, just surprised. And
Okay, I want to jump through the door.
through the door. You want to leap
Like,
out?
Yeah, leap like outside.
So you hang on. Let me just put where the door is right now. The door gets to about here. You've just been knocked there. And as you pop around the corner, you see 8 drow standing in a line.
Hey man, at least you got that favor, right?
I'm gonna jump at the door.
You're gonna-
at the drow.
You're gonna. Oh golly! All right. So you leap at the drow. Roll initiative.
Initiative.
Yep.
Does he go like, hey Milo, you
All
have
of
to be
us,
like,
or-
"Ah, la, 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 la."
Yeah, all of you can. You know, not necessarily all going to be dragged into a combat if you don't want to, but if you do,
I
And
dance
I'm
with
gonna
the-
hug the first drow I meet.
You're gonna hug him.
Wow.
So you leap forwards, armed outstretched, and the first drow you meet has got in his hands a steel bowl, and you splash the bowl out of his hands, and he lets out a yelp of surprise as all this sort of tepid grey mesh just flies everywhere, and the rest of them look pretty surprised, and a couple draw weapons, and there's yelling and shouting, and what do you do?
Daddy!
I point to them and then me, and then smile and shrug.
And the one that you knocked sort of picks up his bowl and then pushes it to your chest and shoves you back and goes, "Inside! Inside!"
Okay, and I walk back inside.
Just winning a bet, guy.
So you get shepherded back inside, and four of the drow come in, and four of them stand at the door. And the four that come in, three of them are holding bowls as well. One of them was holding a bowl that was splashed all over him, and he just sort of tosses the empty bowl at Milo's feet and grunts. And then the other three pass Dagrin, Din, and Theron a bowl each. And it's about this time you realise that everyone else has sort of got a bowl sitting next to them, or a few of them are stacked up and next to each other. And then a drow walks in with a large sort of saucepan, and everyone who didn't just get a bowl full of the mash now with their first new bowl is dealt out a heaping ladle full of this grey mash, and everyone's sort of going for it, like, yeah, definitely, this is food. Everyone's quite excited about it, and you don't understand why they'd be so excited about a grey, gross-looking food, but they all seem pretty keen to get their hands on some stuff. And do the three of you take your bowl? Do you ignore it? What do you do?
I will
Wait,
eat.
is there the option of the grey gook or mash? Or was the grey gook mash?
The grey gook is like a mashy type thing. It's like a thick mash.
I will not.
Okay. Anyone else eating? Just Dagrin?
I'm gonna chow down. I don't think we're gonna get much better choice at the moment.
Cool. As you two begin chowing down, and Milo, you look dejectedly at your empty bowl. The
I'll give
Quaggoth.
Milo some of mine if he wants it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You can go for it. So you split your food. The Quaggoth looks over to Din and says, "Best get your eats. This is the only food you'll have today. Wouldn't want to be on a work detail if I didn't have my strength."
Oh bugger, I might as well eat then. I'm just very suspicious about it.
Yep. So you guys eat it, and it tastes pretty much as it looks. It's bland, tasteless, and sloppy, and it doesn't taste like much. But you all feel sated, I guess, or at least less hungry after eating. Dagrin and Milo, you two feel like you could have had more. You're still a little bit peckish after that food. You're unsure when the last time you actually got to eat was, but this doesn't seem to have curbed your hunger splitting that bowl.
Well, worst case scenario, we have a giant fucking mushroom to gnaw on.
And as you think that, Still goes, "What?"
I definitely don't ever think that.
Okay, so you guys eat up, and the drow all make their way out, and the gate slams shut behind, and everyone's chowing down their foods. And yeah, what do you do from here?
I'll look at Milo and say loud enough for the gnome to hear, just like, oh, looks like you won your bet.
Sure did. And then I'm going to saunter over to the gnome that I made the bet with.
All right. So as you do, he looks up and he says, "What?"
Oh, we bet that I wouldn't get outside or have the door opened. I did both.
He looks quite angry and he goes, "Well, what is your word worth if you can't keep it? A favor it is I owe you. As long as it's
Perfect.
within my power, I'll get it done."
What's your name, my friend?
The name is Jim Jar.
That's a strong name.
I'm a strong gnome.
All right. I'm kind of tired. I think I'm going to go take a nap.
Alrighty. And everyone else in the cell sort of begins to wind down. This is obviously the dinner meal of the day.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I guess we could definitely do with a long rest.
yeah.
Before I settle down, could I
it's-
go
yeah.
approach that drow?
Yep. So everyone else starts settling down, and as does the drow, but you approach him just as he's lying down. And as you walk over to him, he looks up at you and says nothing.
Well, I'm going to ask him, so what happened to land you in the cells with us?
He looks over to you, says nothing.
I might head over to.
Okay.
Could I try persuading him to talk?
What languages do you speak?
Common and abyssal.
No, you may not.
Ah, so he doesn't understand me.
And I will basically ask the same question. So, what are you doing in here? And I'm going to speak it into his head.
Alrighty. So you awaken mind into his head. And he sort of looks startled by... Oh, actually, hang on. So telepathic. Cool. So you speak into his head and he looks startled for a moment. And what was the question you asked into his mind?
I said, so why? So, what made them throw you in here?
And he can respond, yeah, with awakened mind. Yes, communicate telepathically. So he responds and he says, "Get out of my head. I have no wish to talk to you."
And I said, I'll get out of your head when you tell me what I want to know.
And you hear sort of constantly in the background just going, "Murder, murder, murder," and then "Get out of my head."
Oh.
Can I roll an intimidation?
Sure. You fail to intimidate him. He keeps repeating the same thing, just "Get out of my head," and with the constant whisper of "murder."
I said, I'll retreat for now, but as he's trying to sleep, I might start also whispering things into his head.
Fucking have an unglued drow in there.
To die. So you're trying to make him go crazy, and it works. He starts getting agitated and he's tossing and turning, and eventually, after about half an hour of you whispering horrible thoughts into his head, he stands up with a start while everyone else is lying down, ready to, trying to go to sleep, and he storms over to you, and he reaches down and wraps his hands around your neck and starts screaming into your face. And everyone wakes up with a start, and you are definitely, taken aback. So what do you do as he's screaming into your face with his hands wrapped around your throat?
Can I take a Eldritch Blast at him with disadvantage?
So you attempt to blast him with some magic, but as you attempt to summon the power to your hands, you feel nothing. Nothing happens. No energy builds up. No magic comes through your fingers. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Would I
I
be
want to
able
kick him in the shins.
interject?
Yeah. Go over there and tackle him and try to heal him off our buddy.
Yeah, being woken up, would I be able to go run over and hit him in the back of the head?
Yep. So you guys can certainly run up and drag him off there, and then try and hit him and pull him away, and he doesn't really resist much. Well, I mean, he resists, but he's not fighting. Like, he's just sort of kicking, and he carries on screaming loudly, top of his lungs, and
Is he saying words, or is he just like
just psychotically
Shit.
just insane.
Well,
And
now we know why he's locked up.
Jim Jar shouts over the noise, "Shut him up! He'll bring them down on us!" And he just carries on screaming, just screaming blue bloody murder as you dragging him off Theron, and he's trying to scratch at Theron's face with his claws, just his big long nails, and he's just scratching at him, trying to tear at his face.
I'll put my hand over his mouth, like in a way, like cup it so he like can't bite it or something.
He's trying to bite it, so like you're trying to cover his mouth, but he's just thrashing about, and he's trying to get your fingers, and you can't keep it down. He's just screaming, "Arr, arr," biting. He's going wild.
I want to punch him in the face to knock him out.
Give me a d20.
Does he get advantage
I'll
since we're
assist.
holding him?
No assist.
Yes, you may. So Milo, roll another one. Well done on that assist. So you
Should
like
just let me roll it.
Oh, and you didn't have your bonuses added there, so isn't it like +7?
No, I'm not doing like a strength or a hit or anything. I'm just doing if you get him. So you're just trying to quieten him down, trying to smack him, and nothing seems to be happening. And then all of a sudden you all hear, "Stand clear!" coming over from the gate again, and then not but a moment later the door swings open back into
I
the
guess I
room.
quickly step away from the drow. Make it look like I wasn't involved.
All
I'm
right.
going to do the same, but I'm also going to point at the drow.
So you stand
this
2 feet
guy's
away with
lost his
your
fucking
finger just
mind.
pointing at him.
I still got him.
Yeah, I
trying
was just going to
keep
say
him
you're
away.
still holding on to him. Cool.
Yeah.
So
And they're coming
I'm
and
assuming
take
he's going
Tevan
to jump
away.
right back at him, so I'm going to keep him away.
you're holding him, and Theron's, I guess, moving away as well. You moving away?
Yeah, I'm acting completely innocent. Like
Yep.
he's just done this out of the blue for no reason.
All right. So the guards storm in, and there's about 6 of them this time, and they come straight at Dagrin, holding this guy, and 2 of them grab him, and he's still struggling, and a third grabs his legs, and they've got him lifted right up, and then 2 grab you from either arm, and they growl out, "Come!" and they start pulling you towards the door, and
All right, I'll go. I'm not going to resist. I'm too fucked up to resist
Yep.
anymore.
So everyone sees you and this guy taken from the cage. He's kicking and screaming and still yelling, and
Great. Now you guys got me tortured to death.
you step outside, and you find yourself on a ledge, and you can see to the left a bridge, and it leads to a door, and you can see that this door goes into the side of a large, like, is it mites go up, tights go down, so it's a large stalactite coming from way up in the darkness, coming down, and the bridge sort of goes into a door carved into the side of it, and then looking to the right you see a staircase leading down a path into the darkness that you can't see where it goes down there, and in front of you see a ledge, and 2 guards stand on either side of you as this drow is dragged kicking and screaming to the edge, and one of them says something in Undercommon, and he stops for a moment, and then he says something back and spits at the drow's face, and they toss him over, and his scream is heard down probably a good 1 to 2 seconds, and then it's stopped for a moment, like he's landed on something, and then it starts again. And the two guard pull you close to the edge, and they sort of hold you to the edge and make you look over, and you see down the drow caught in what appears to be some spider webs glistening in the light of the torches that are around here. And as he's screaming, he's trying to pull himself free, and then a big black shadow just goes over him and he's silent.
You were right. Who was gonna die?
All right, 2 drow down.
And the guards look at you and say, "Next," and shove you back towards the door. Back inside.
All right. So yeah, I'll relay what I saw to everyone. Give them a description of the spiders and the the things that were visible otherwise.
Cool.
I'm not going down next time, assholes. Just like.
And as you say it, the dwarf, she pipes up and says, "Better get used to that, fellas. It happens more often than you'd think." And then she rolls over and goes back into a dwarven slumber with snoring.
Wow.
Just a question.
Yep.
Who
Throw
tried
her ass
casting
off
the
the
spell
ledge.
before? Was it Theron?
Theron was, yes.
I might approach Theron and ask about it.
Okay.
Hey Theron, I saw you casting a spell before, or attempting to, and nothing happened. What's up with that?
I don't know. Oh, I tried to blast him, but just nothing seemed to happen.
Well, Awakened
weird.
Mind worked, yeah.
Sure did.
Do they
different
know
kind-
that
different
I
kind of
was
magic.
speaking into his mind?
Do who know? Oh, I mean, if you told them, I guess. I think he was asking out of...
Yeah, I was thinking I was just going to basically just act like the drow went completely crazy for no reason.
Well, wait, is Awakened Mind a spell or is it an
No,
ability?
it's a class ability.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. I didn't say anything.
Also, I wonder if it's only affected in this room, or maybe it's something in the food that's preventing you from using the magic.
I think in the morning, or whatever passes as morning for here, maybe we should ask some of the others, like that friendly Quaggoth maybe. He seems to know a few things about this place.
Could be an idea.
Oh yeah, and I told I'll relay the fact that the mushroom says that the two deep gnomes know something, know some sort of secret.
Oh, might want to inquire.
Hush whisper
them
that
too.
as you guys carve out a
Yeah.
little corner to stay
Yeah,
in.
I'm assuming we're all kind of huddled together
Yeah.
someplace.
Back of the room, talking about everything. So so night happens somewhere in the world. It's nighttime, and you all have a long rest.
Yay!
Full function. Now morning breaks, and you guys don't know that, but you assume it to be the morning, and there's a large shout at the door. You've come to recognize this voice shouting through the gates, "Stand clear!" And everyone's out of the way, I assume, unless anyone particularly wants to stand in the way.
No.
Cool. So the door swings open, and one of the drow walks in, and you're all starting to recognize this drow. It seems to be the same one each time. And let me just pull up a picture of him. Oh, what's a stupid name? Sorry.
How do I clear
Intoxicated to
that?
Dinviesel.
How do I clear that?
Huh? Oh, I'll clear it. You're getting drunk on life.
He's like huffing the mushrooms spores. Hey man, if you
just
huff
sucking
these
on
mushroom
stool
spores,
throughout the night.
yeah, if you huff the spores, you can like hear voices in your head, man. It's far out.
So this drow that comes in, he's got a rather distinguishing feature. He's
A dick for a nose.
basically. So,
Have you played this campaign before?
This is actually exactly where I stopped. The second day.
so this guy, where is his description?
He didn't actually have a dick for a nose. So just,
You know, that would be silly.
Photoshop it in real quick.
So this guy has a huge scar running from the top right of his forehead down over his right eye and across his lips down to his lower left jaw. It's just like a big war wound that's
It's like more like foreplay for Drow.
healed ugly and nobbled and horrible, but it doesn't stop him looking particularly pleased with himself with all of you prisoners. And as he walks in, he looks around and he says in common, "So, who will be working today?" And he looks around and he points his finger and he extends one finger at Milo, and then he extends one finger at Dagrin, and extends one finger at the dwarf, and he says, "You three, water." And two drow walk forwards and beckon the three of you over. He goes, "Go before they have to get you."
I'll go.
I walk over, but I want to tell him that I'm too small to work.
He looks at you and he says, "Not where you're working. Off you go."
I'll just pick Milo and use him as like a shovel or something.
So are you gonna like refuse to go?
No, I'm going. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, okay.
He's just being the biggest
I'm
pain
just
in the
not
ass
sure
as
if you're like
possible.
still doing the things or if you're just arguing but continuing to do it. So
Being a pain in the ass.
you guys go, and then he extends his finger at Theron and Din and the Quaggoth, and he smiles and he says, "You're in the pins." And then he turns around and walks out of the room, and two more drow come in and beckon the three of you.
Do I have a chance to quickly whisper to the Quaggoth one of the pens?
Shoveling shit, it sounds
You
like.
sort of like say that as you're walking towards the door, and the Quaggoth goes, "You'll see soon enough. Keep quiet."
Okay, I exclaim loudly.
Really loud. I'll be quiet, don't worry.
So, the first three of you, Dagrin, Milo, and the dwarf, you guys are ushered. I'm just going to pull Milo's token to show where you guys go. You guys are ushered out, and the two guards you go with are joined by four more guards. And they take you along the bridge, and then you go through the door, and you find yourself in a room in the stalactite, which has not much in it. Has a few bits of furniture, and another door on the outside. And they quickly show you to that door.
A giant 10 on the floor.
A giant 10 on the floor. And then you find yourself overlooking a rather long bridge. This bridge hangs over, if you look down the side, you can see a crisscross of spider webs, and then as you step out onto it, you're met with the noise of the waterfall that you guys came across earlier.
Oh, you said it was the same waterfall that we walked through? That
Possibly.
came across earlier.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, because it was
So
only
that's-
only like 10 minutes after the waterfall.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's definitely the same one. You guys didn't travel for much longer after that. And the path runs alongside it, and as you step off the end, you're sort of splashed by the water again, and it's all pulled up along the edges of this path, right the way along to where that bridge in front of you is actually above you. You want to sort of walk under it, and you continue along the path with the guards in front and behind, and you eventually reach a largish clearing, which I will just open up. I say clearing, I mean a landing. And you see a few smallish doors on either side. Not as big as the door to your pen, but of a similar construction. And you don't get to do much or inspect them for long, as you're quickly ushered over the side or around the side to where there is a cage hanging on a sort of crane contraption. And the cage is slowly wheeled close to the edge by one of the drow on a big wooden wheel that attaches to the ropes. And then once it reaches the edge, one of them steps on. Excuse me. And then the three of you are prodded and pushed onto this cage. Do you go on?
Yeah.
Milo? Yep. And the dwarf goes on
I'm
as
assuming Milo's gonna be like pretend to be afraid of heights, like whoa, it's really high up.
I've got vertigo. So you guys step on, and one of the drow steps on behind you, leaving the three of you and two drow. And the cage slowly begins to lower you to the ground. And, so we'll leave you there in that lowering because it's quite a height. And we'll come to the other group. So Theron and Din. I will just grab Theron's token. You guys are ushered out along much of the same path. So a little, maybe a minute after the other ones. And you come along and you see the waterfall as well. And as you get to this landing, one of the guards points to the three pins and says, "Here," and then unhooks a bunch of keys from his belt and opens the first door. And then one of the other ones taps him on the shoulder and shakes his head and says something in an undercommon that you don't understand. And he nods a bit. And then he puts the keys back out, leaves the door shut, and puts them back on his hook. And he says, back. And you guys get shuffled back the way you came. And
Fuck, I wish I knew Undercommon.
yeah, I'm surprised no one took it.
So much I'm missing out on.
So what? They just sent us there, and then they just marched us back.
Yep, so they march you back through, and then when they get to your pen, instead of taking you inside, they march you down the left. Down the stairs. And as you get to the bottom, you see a small door in front of you, and another large wooden door, very similar to the door that you were all put behind. And the drow unhooks his keys again, looks at his friend, and his friend nods and says something, and he opens it, or he unlocks it, but before he swings it open, a drow quickly pops out of the room above, and as you see inside, you see it's sort of like a little, almost watchtower room beyond the door. So it's not very large in there. And he pops out and he starts speaking hurriedly in Undercommon, and gets quite animated and quite heated. And then the one with the keys sort of yells something and pushes him back in the door, and he shrugs and goes back inside. And he swings open the door to this room. And inside, you see a 12!
Oh shit! You guys are fucking in trouble.
And at the back of this room, you see 4 Quaggoth. And
A different Quaggoth.
different to the prince. And as the prince sees them, he sort of lets out a growl and goes, "Savages! They're putting us in here with the savages again. They haven't taken them out. What are they bloody thinking?"
What's going on? Why have we been placed in here and not? Why aren't we doing the pin?
And he points to the ground and goes, "Take a guess." And all strewn along the ground is offal and blood and carcasses of things fed to these quaggoths, and just shit strewn everywhere. They're not the tidiest of creatures when they evacuate their bowels. And
So, are we
almost to
putting
illustrate
back-
the point, one of the guards passes you each a shovel. A little wooden, almost maybe a foot long shovel that's really just a widened wood base.
Garden trowel.
Yeah, basically like a trowel sized wooden shovel. And Prince Derendil takes one and sighs and begins moving forwards. And just as he takes a couple of steps further in, one of the quaggoths at the back lets out a roar and begins running towards you. And he gets, say it's Theron, he gets to about there, and then snapped back by a chain or a rope holding him. And Derendil leaps back in surprise and lets out a growl of his own, and the drow laugh and make their way out of the room and lock you in here.
Yay!
Well, time to start shoveling offal, I guess.
This shovel.
Yep.
is made out of wood.
Yep.
Would it be possible while I'm working throughout the day or whatever to, I guess, remove basically make like a kind of stake out of some of the wood?
Do you want to like try and break it or
I wanna
grind
make
it
like a
down
prison-
on the stone?
Yeah, like make like a prison shank. Just try and like break off a little bit of it. So it
You
looks like-
can, definitely. Be aware that you may, you probably won't be given this to take back to your room.
Oh, okay. Like I couldn't hide it on my person.
Okay. So yeah, you can try doing that. So while your friends are doing the dirty and shoveling shit, you're just really rubbing up the back end along the stone, trying to effectively sand it down to a point.
Oh, I don't want to like turn the whole shovel into one. I just sort of want to like break off a piece of it, make it look like the shovel's just getting worn and old. And heavy.
Okay, I see. I follow. All right. So
I need to return the shovel.
yep. All right. Oh, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to let you try and see if it works. So all right, you can try breaking it off. Give me a dexterity check. See if you can try and break off a piece without breaking the whole frickin' thing. All right, so you find a piece of the wall that comes to like almost like a point or like an edge, just alongside the wall of this room somewhere, and you sort of line up your shovel from the handle on this edge, and you give it a big whack, and you break off a splinter about 6-7 inches long that goes to a sharp point. And your knowledge of being a kick-ass fighter lets you know that this will probably be able to act as a dagger, but wouldn't last more than a couple of hits.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll put it up my sleeve.
All right, I'm so glad you said
And-
sleeve.
Yep. Splinters, man. And I guess I'll start shoveling some shit.
All right, and you guys are shoveling shit towards this. So Derendil tells you that this little white blotch is a chute, and it leads down into the waters below. So everything you shovel up is just getting put down there. And on top of this chute is a lid. And this lid is basically just a flat wooden board with a long steel rod that's jammed into either side above this chute that acts as a hinge that it basically just swings on.
As we're shoveling crap, can
Yep.
I strike up a conversation with the prince in Elvish and say, "Hey, You know when that crazy drow just completely attacked me last night, totally unprovoked? You might have noticed I tried to use sort of arcane ability, but it seemed to not work. Do you have any idea what's going on with that?
He looks at you and goes, "You are a spellcaster? You were one of those foul users of magic? One of those who are responsible for my current predicament?" And he starts getting angry and angry and rounds down on you, and he says, "Magic?"
When I say magic, I misspoke. I meant divine clerical abilities, of course.
And he sort of takes a deep breath and he's like, "Whew, sorry, you were getting me angry there."
You wouldn't like me when I.
Oh my god, I was just about to do it.
I knew it. I wanted to ruin it for you.
He was about to honk out.
Because you stole my fucking horse, Dan.
So yeah, he basically says, I don't much understand how magics and divine will works, but I abhor it in all the forms that it comes. So as long as you're not one of those foul magic users, we have no issues." And he sort of just leaves the subject.
Interesting. Could I possibly investigate the chute?
So you lift it up,
just
and
like-
you're instantly assailed by the stench of shit. All this just offal and crap that's just smeared down the sides of this chute. It only drops to the water when it builds up enough back pressure to push itself down through this 1 foot wide long drop. And yeah, it's pretty stank.
Back pressure.
Pretty
That's
stank.
disgusting. Gross. Sounds
Well,
like
if it
my
goes-
toilet.
If it goes into water, I guess we can wash afterwards. This is an escape route.
It is
We
only a
can
foot
shove
wide.
Milo down there.
Oh, okay.
Milo will fit.
Yeah.
A halfling's only a foot wide?
I don't know. We could force him down.
Remember, we may be like 3 feet tall, but we're not like, 3 feet
I mean,
wide.
to scale. So if I was 2 feet
You
shorter,
know what?
my
Halflings
shoulders
can
are only
fit
about.
anywhere their head can fit. Milo, is your head less than a foot wide?
Definitely.
Then you can octopus your way down that hole if you so wish.
Halflings are evolved from octopus now.
Does the chute, well, I know it's covered in shit, but does it look like it's made out of sheer rock? Does it look like it's a material that could possibly be made larger? Could the hole be like made larger? the right tools?
It's basically just rock like the rest of the place.
Wow,
You'd need
gas is
some
coming
serious. You'd need some serious tools to widen it, and a serious amount of time, because as far as you can see, you can't see the end of this tunnel. It's just shit all the way down.
Shit
Could I
all the way
chuck in
down.
Chuck in a pebble and like just listen to how the pings
Roll,
that it
roll me a
makes and-
dix check.
Cool.
To avoid the shit.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a pebble down there. I'm not bloody jumping in there to see.
It might just get stuck in a turd
Yeah.
or something.
So you throw
Yeah,
it down, and it goes tink tink tink.
Did your mic just cut out?
No, it landed in poop.
Yeah, no. Okay.
So it went a little further than you can see. So it's at least 60, 70 feet. But you don't know quite. You didn't hear a plop at the end just to catch on poo.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I should also,
Right.
clarify, it's not just poo down there. Like, there's offal and other, all the blood and guts and bits and pieces that are thrown down.
Yummy bits.
It's just not a very good time tunnel.
Pre-poo. Sounds like Milo's type of area.
I don't know.
All right, so you guys carry on shoveling
Okay.
shit.
Can I investigate how the?
How the
Yep. Can I investigate? Can you? Is my mic coming through okay?
I got? How can I investigate? And then is my mic coming through? Okay.
Okay. I was going to ask, can I investigate how the Quaggoth are secured?
So
Basi-
they're sort of tied
How's
up
it-
with
What would it take to
chains.
break them if we ever wanted to cause some mischief?
As far as you can see, just chains. The one that's sort of pulled against it has got a large harness around its neck that sort of goes down and then goes around its waist as well, and then the chain attaches sort of in the middle between the two at the back.
Okay. So there's no obvious weak points where you could basically, I guess, hit the chain and maybe cause it to break.
Not with a wooden shovel, no. It's quite a heavy duty chain. You'd need some hefty weapons or tools or a key to break those chains out.
Can I just ask the
Yep.
Quagoth why they're keeping Quagoths here? Like, what would they have to gain?
He
Does
looks at
know
you and he
by-
says, "Well, I suppose you'd already know Drow aren't the best at physical combat." And he points to the Quagoth and he goes, "And this lot more than make up for raw power."
Okay. Going by how those Jaws have fucked us up since we've come across them, I thought that would be adequate enough.
Well, no one's really been in a fight except for Theron, who prompted opportunity attacks and promptly went down.
This is true. So,
So
are
we'll-
Quagoths, I guess I'm still asking the Quagoth.
Yep.
Are normal Quagoths
Beasts.
beasts, yeah, non-intelligent?
Not nearly to the extent that he is. They can be tamed, but they can't, or not tamed, but I guess trained, like to sick 'em.
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Cool bananas.
No, because I keep shoveling shit.
Cool.
Yes, so
All right, so
I
you
do
guys.
have one real harebrained idea, but it's probably a long shot.
All right. Before you go into it, we'll just cut back to the other group, and you guys have reached the end of this rope, and you sort of find yourselves at the bottom of this huge, vast area. And as far as you can see, if you look up, you can see the spider webs above, and if you look around, you can see just open expanse as far as your lights will show. And the drow begin taking you up to the northeast, that way, and you eventually
Pass a giant 5.
find yourselves, oh, it is 6 to 8, at the bottom of the waterfall, where it breaks away. Alright, so just open this whole area. It breaks away further up the path, or further up this area, into a large lake, and it originates back where the waterfall is.
Are there any like stones or anything on the ground?
Nope, there's just sort of water, and then next to this water are some buckets and a large cistern type container. And they motion to the buckets and then to the water, and one of them says, "Fill."
And how many guards are down here with us?
Three currently. So the other three are still upstairs.
All right, for now, I guess I'll like wade up to my knees in the water just to see how deep it is,
Yep. And
and like see how fast it drops off.
okay, so you wade in about 10 feet, and it still hasn't dropped away.
Can I see into the water at all, or is it just too dark?
it's quite dim, especially under where the stalactites are. It's sort of blocking the light coming from up top, and you're getting quite far away from the torches that the guards are holding. Um, and they sort of see you going further in, and one of them yells, "Phil!"
I'm getting the good water, guys. Jeez, obviously. Come on.
You obviously don't understand physics. Good water's at the back.
Yeah, man. Come on now.
I've been there for weeks.
All right, so I'll start gathering up some water.
All right. Milo, what do you do?
So it's just smooth ground into the water.
Yes. So it's kind of like a slight incline, but not, not very deep, very fast.
Okay, I guess I'll
Like
just
a
pick up a
boat,
bucket and start filling it up.
All right. So you start grabbing water, and the dwarf joins you too and starts shoveling buckets. And she whispers to Milo and says,
Fuck you, short people.
"That tall guy's a prick, eh?"
He is.
He's a cunt and not the good kind.
She, yeah. So basically, she leans over and she says, "One of these days, I'm gonna overpower these three. I'm gonna get us out of here. Can I count on
That
you?"
sounds great. Yes.
Yeah, don't ask the paladin with 18 strength or anything.
And after talking to Milo and getting your yes, she leans over to Dagrin and says, "That's not how you do it." And she
What?
shows you a better way to hold the bucket.
Fuck dwarves.
So you guys continue building up.
I
your
mentally
buckets.
give her the finger.
She mentally ignores you once more.
So there's no pebbles or stones or anything.
Oh, I mean, there's little loose rocks around the shoreline if you really want to go looking and scraping them, but
Like anything in the water that's maybe like the size of a fist or something.
roll me a investigation.
Of course. Damn.
Sweet. So you are filling your bucket, and just as you go to plunge it down under the water, you see not a rock, but you see almost like a glint of steel.
Oh. All right. So I'll like pretend to drop my bucket into the water, like
Yep.
like oops, and then just kind of go and grab the bucket and also grab that metallic thing.
Okay. And you sort of pick it up,
If
and
if I notice this, can I move between him and the guards?
yeah,
Just sort of
definitely. Yep.
block it.
That's perfect.
Okay,
So you
I
sort
wanna
of
do
stand
that.
between them, and you can bring it just to almost the surface of the water and inspect it. And it's about a foot long, inch wide steel rod.
Oh. Uh-oh.
That's it.
All right. I'm gonna say to Milo, like, I think I'm gonna need a distraction to hide this.
All right. Gonna walk over to the guards and tell them I'm tired, but I want some food.
So,
Yeah.
Jesus, bourbon. All right. So you walk up to the guards, and as you approach, they were talking amongst themselves, and they stop and they look at you, and they just sort of wait for you to say something, and you say, "What do you
I'm
want to say?"
tired, guys. It's this is way too much work for someone my size. I need some food. My stomach has been grumbling. I don't know if you know a lot about halflings, but we eat a lot, and it's way past breakfast.
And one of them sort of tries to cut you short, tries to speak over you, and he sort of says, "Food, no food," and he pushes, like points back to the water and gives you a little shove.
Are you sure there's no food? How about I make you a deal? You give me some food today, and I'll work twice as hard tomorrow.
And he looks at you again, and there's slight confusion on his face, and he just shakes his head and he goes, "No food," and he pushes you again. And before you can do anything, the dwarf yells, and he looks up, and you look over your shoulder, and Dagrin, you look over your shoulder at this yell, and you see her swinging this bucket of water around and around in her head, and she just lets it fly at the guard, and it just catches him square in the chest and knocks him back on his ass. And she just lets out a woohoo and starts running up to the one that's still standing, and then just leaps on him full bodily and starts pounding his face with her fist.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look at Milo with like this rod half jammed in my pants and just see what he wants to do.
I'm gonna jump on the one that fell over and start punching him in the head.
All right. Well, me and my rod are gonna show up to the fight then.
Okay, so you guys leap over to the one that got knocked over, and just roll initiative for me.
Really wish he didn't make so much goddamn noise.
So the one that got knocked over is sort of gathered himself now. Let me just populate the map. Sorry. And where is the ladies thing?
Did any of these? Do they have keys to the door, or was it just that one dude with the big scar?
The one upstairs that was operating the crane is the one that had the keys, so not these ones. Oh, where's the last one? I'm missing one. And this other one is standing a little ways away at the moment, and he's noticed what's going on, but he's not nearly there yet. So he starts running towards, try and pull her off. Number 2 stands up and sees Milo and Dagrin about to pounce on at him, and he lets out a yelp of alarm and attempts to smack Dagrin with his spear. But you dodge just out of the way, and he misses, and it is now your turn.
Alrighty.
Let me just drag that item into your thing if you want to try and hit him with it. Or
Alright.
are you going to want to use it as a weapon, or are you going to try and keep it hidden?
I'm gonna do my best to keep it hidden for now, because I don't think this is gonna go very well, but...
Okay. So what are you going to do from here?
But I will attempt to grapple him.
Okay.
And, just kind of get him all held and restrained for Milo to maybe beat him up or grab his weapon or something.
Okay.
Was
So
that opposed strength,
I
or what's how
believe
does...
a grapple is opposed strength. Yes. Let me just double
Alright.
check.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a 1, guys.
Possibly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gonna roll on that 20 and then like suplex me.
So he can oppose it with strength or dex.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So which number was that? That's number 2. And he is going to oppose it with strength. And you grapple him.
Alright.
So you just bear hug him, and he's grappled.
Put him in full Nelson and start tickling him. Alright. Cool.
Alright. And she's just pummeling this guy. This is going to say Warhammer, but it's not actually Warhammer, it's just her fist. And she punches him twice. And the second one fumbles.
Punches herself in the face.
And she goes to punch him, and her arm just misses his head and just slams into the ground. And she just lets out a cry, and she lifts her hand, and she's just got a big knuckle bent the wrong way. Not the wrong way, just bent, twisted right inside. And she's just broken one of her fingers, and she's just screaming in pain. Oh, my hand! My hand! And the drow easily pushes her off him while she's reeling in pain. Milo's turn.
All right. I'm gonna punch the guy that Dagron's holding.
Yep.
Does that mean he gets advantage or something? Nope, doesn't matter.
All right.
So you
And then,
punch him.
yep. And then I'm going to use a key
Mhm.
and do flurry of blows so I can attack twice more.
OP monk. OP monk.
Does he get advantage for
Oh,
being...
brilliant.
Oh, all right.
Brilliant. So it's just critical damage. And you smash
So
him
I'm going to
for
ask
9.
this one more time before
Yep.
Milo rose really fucking high. Does he get advantage because the drow's grappled?
Number 2.
Yeah, he's attacking the one I have grappled.
It appears not. This usually has all of the things there. Let me just look at the condition. Usually they're all automatically affected in Fantasy Grounds. So it just becomes speed 0, and that's it.
Does he lose his dex or anything?
Nope. So it's just sort of
All right.
keeping them still, which is dumb.
So one last kick to the head.
Yep.
God damn.
And you
Pummeling
knock him
shit out of
out.
this guy.
He just goes limp as your foot connects with his head.
All right. I guess I'll just move there.
Okay.
And end my turn.
Alrighty. So the drow that pushed the dwarf off sees you kick his mate unconscious, and he attempts to stab at you with the spear, and misses. Stabs again. Misses again.
Damn.
Lets out a ah, and skip Din. You're not actually.
It's Din's turn.
Yeah, it's Din's turn. Theron, Duran. And Drow 6 also comes in with his spear. Seeing you knock him out, he has the pointed end pointed at you. And he hits because your AC is currently... What? Oh, no. You're unarmed.
He's a
Unarmed.
monk.
Yeah, shit.
That's
Dang
why
it,
I'm letting
son.
Milo go first.
Yep. Very nice. So he attacks a second time and misses again. And it is currently... What's that? That's an action. Cool. The other drow is
Is
unconscious.
Or unconscious, yep. So I'm going to grab the spear.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of step over the body a little bit.
Yep.
And whack this guy a bunch.
Okay.
And my battery on my headset's fucked up. Give me 1 second.
Oh, not good enough. You give up your turn because your battery's dead.
All right. So, but Milo knocked him out, or did he kill him? Because don't monks do lethal? I mean, what were you doing, Milo, I guess?
Killing him if I can with a kick.
Okay, you killed him.
Alright.
He did.
All right, so yeah, then I'll be using lethal too. All right, spear time. And spears are versatile, or?
No.
Um,
Oh, actually, hang on. Check if the character ones are versatile. I don't think they are. I think
They
it's
are.
only the longsword and great weapons, isn't it? Spear.
grab one real quick, so I have
Oh, yeah.
it, I guess.
Versatile 1d8.
All right. All right, so yeah, I'll versatile that sucker.
Sweet.
Is there a way to mark it like you're using versatile or something?
You just need to set up another version of the weapon with...
Oh, that's a bit. I'll just roll for my battle axe since it's the same damage.
Well, hang on. Let me just...
Hello?
Hello.
I'll make it ranged. Okay.
There you go. And you hit. And you deal 9 damage with the spear.
All right.
And the dwarf is reeling in pain with her hand. She's just curled up in a ball, crying out in pain. Milo's
God,
turn.
you're fucking useless.
I'm gonna tell the dwarf to be quiet, and then punch this guy.
Okay. And you hit. And you finish him off.
All right. Bonus action to punch the other guy.
Okay. And you miss.
That's my turn.
Okie dokie. So, this guard, sensing the battle turning very much against him, he starts speaking in Undercommon, mutters some things, waves his hand around, and then darkness spreads from him. And in a 15-foot radius from him, darkness spreads. And he attempts to... Do you have dark vision?
Well, in darkness, I think it's magical, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's magical
Oh, sorry, it's
darkness.
blind
You
sight that
can't
he
see
can see,
either.
isn't it? Yeah, blind sight you can see, rather. Okay, and in the darkness, he runs the shit away. Leaving not Din, Devan, and Theron, but Dagrin in this
All right,
cloud of darkness along with everyone else. Sorry, that should be.
Am I
too
disoriented to remember which direction the lift was in, or do I have a pretty good idea?
Once you're out of the darkness, you'll probably be able to get a decent idea.
Well, I mean, like, to know which way to leave the darkness, at least.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you'd be looking at where he was, so you could just walk away from him. The darkness spread from that point.
Right. So I'll just move in that direction and then just kind of run up to him. And how does a shove work? I just kind of push him over. It's a strength thing, yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Just for thematics, I'll just kind of like try to sweep him with the spear.
You and your bloody shoving and grappling.
Trying to knock his ass on the ground.
You make a contested strength, and he uses strength or dex, and you can push him
shit.
5 feet away.
Because you can push him or knock him down, right?
Yep, knock him prone or push him.
Anyone want to pass me inspiration? Milo only moves 25, right?
Yes.
It's 35.
So
Oh,
he
oh.
easily beats your check and is not shoved.
All right.
And Eldith sort of gets over her pain by this point and then looks around and is confused at what's going on. Darkness is spread everywhere and she cries out and says, "Where am I?"
God damn, I hate her. Milo, just punch her in the back of the head and knock her out.
I'm gonna run through her, I guess.
Okay.
Tell her to follow me. All right, let's see. Punch in the guard. And then a bonus action to do it again.
God damn.
Boom.
Fucking brutal.
That's it.
Alright. Now, make a... Actually, no, he'll force a save. Cool. Oh, you succeed. That's a shame. So, he continues running away, prompting a opportunity attack from each of you.
Oh, alright.
And you knock him down where he
Just
stands.
gib him.
Yep.
Right.
Just cause
I'll pick up both the spears.
Yep.
I'll offer one to the dwarf.
So the darkness dissipates as well when he dies.
Yeah, I figured.
And she looks around, and you all are in complete darkness right now.
I had torches too, right?
The one torch that they had has been snuffed out in the fighting.
try and find that along with the spears.
Yep.
And
So you
try and
sort of
find that
shuffle
flint
around
steel.
for a few minutes and look for things. And while you guys are trying to find all these items, we will finish there. It is currently our end time, so we will.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we'll finish up there, and yeah, all done
All
for
right.
another week.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy shoveling shit because we're out of here.
So we have one more session that is same time next week, and then we'll be done for the year.
Hogsmas or whatever the fuck Wormy called it.
Yeah, Hogmanay.
Hogananny?
I don't know.
Hogananny?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Some potato testing. Hootenanny.
That's the joke I made. Excuse me.
Ah, yes. Wave at the like handful of people that are in the stream because we have video, and that'll be the end of it.